consciousness as long as one is addicted to trying to enjoy selfish, materialistic, sensual activities, either by one's own efforts or with the help of others or by both. People like you are simply wasting your lives, puna puna charvata charvananam, chewing that which has already been chewed. And then Prahlad said, even if you have your so-called gurus and everything, but because you're all blind to the real truth, you and your so-called, you as a leader and your leaders, you are simply like blind men, leading blind men, and you are all falling into the ditch of the darkness of ignorance. Your only hope, my father, is to bathe your entire body with the dust of the feet of the devotees of the Lord, who have no material, selfish ego. Hiranyakashipu did not like that. 5-year-old boy. That was the point where he said, kill this child. He must be killed before he kills us. If there is a diseased limb on the body, better to cut it off before the disease spreads and kills the whole body. So they tried to kill Prahlad in numerous ways. And Prahlad never prayed for protection. He just remembered Krishna. He just fixed his mind on Krishna with gratitude and with love. And Krishna was always there for him. And ultimately, when Lord Narsinghadev came and performed that historical surgical operation, Hiranyakashipu, right in front of little Prahlad's eyes, he saw his father get it. Can you imagine that? And he loved his father. But Prahlad understood that whatever's happening is the will of the Lord. It's for the good. And when the Lord asked Prahlad, take any benediction you like, little Prahlad said, please do not tempt me in this way. If I ask anything in return for my service from you, then I'm not a devotee. I'm just doing business with you. My service is unconditional. I want to give. I don't want to take. Narsinghadev wanted. It will please me if you ask for a benediction. Please ask. Prahlad said, my father, he was so evil and he caused so much death, suffering to so many millions of people. There's no one worse than him in history. What kind of karma, now that he's dead, what kind of hellish karma is going to come upon him? Please, my Lord, give him liberation. When Prahlad talked about not seeing friends or enemies, he was seeing everyone as a well-wisher. He was the well-wisher of everyone. He discriminated. But there's so much to learn from this story of Prahlad. He was very philosophically astute in his discrimination of what's truth and what is illusion, what is favorable and what is unfavorable. But it was all done not in a competitive spirit, not with ego, not with envy, not with friends and enemies. He was doing it in the spirit of service to all. He was doing it in a spirit of compassion. To the man who tried to murder him, who hated him, when he was only 5 years old. His own father. He could have asked for any benediction. He asked, give him liberation. And let me never forget you. And as long as there's anybody like Hiranyakashipu forgetful of you, let me come to this world on your behalf to try to help them to be happy in devotion. In Lord Chaitanya's Leela, there are two devotees who are compared to Prahlad. One is Haridas Thakur. He was beaten in 22 marketplaces by executioners who hated him, who tortured him, who were determined to murder him. And the whole while, he was praying to God to forgive them. He was praying, if I've done anything good for you, my Lord, please give them all devotion. Don't take it against them on my account. And years later, Lord Chaitanya said, when I saw those people trying to kill you, abusing you in such horrible ways, I sent my Sudarshan chakra to kill them. But because your prayers for me to be merciful to them were so strong, my Sudarshan chakra would not function. I couldn't release it. So I had no other alternative but to lay my own body over yours, to take those beatings to keep you alive. And the Lord showed Haridas those whip marks. So he's compared to Prahlad. And when those people beat him and beat him and beat him, finally they said, we're too tired to beat you anymore because you're still alive, we're going to be killed. So Prahlad said, I won't cause you any problem. Just see what I do. And Haridas just sat there, and he died. No heartbeat, no pulse. So eventually, they took him to the king and said, he's dead. What should we do with him? And they just considered him such a useless person. The Muslim people said, we can't bury him because he's so sinful, he's chanting Krishna's names. And the caste Hindus said, we can't burn him because he's born a Muslim. So what do you do with a person like this? People have these external conceptions. Haridas told the king at the very beginning, but he couldn't understand. There's only one God. He has different names. Allah, Rama, Krishna. Same person. He's the source of everything that exists. He's the all-merciful, compassionate father, mother of every living being. Why are we fighting? But they were fighting even after he died. So they decided to just throw him in the river like a piece of garbage. So they threw him in the river. And Haridas was floating. Then he was born again. He just came out of the dead. He was never actually dead. He was in samadhi. All of his life symptoms stopped. He was clinically dead, but his soul was within his body. Now, he was down the river where nobody was around. Now, for most of us, if we got beaten through 22 marketplaces like that, and we came alive down the river, we would have probably gone to the forest somewhere. But you know what Haridas did? He went right back to the king's palace. And the king bowed down to him and said, "You are a saint. Do whatever you like." So he's compared to Prahlad. Vasudev Dutt, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami's. He so much deeply appreciated and emulated the spirit of compassion. Vasudev Dutt prayed to the Lord, "I cannot tolerate seeing anyone suffer. I can't tolerate it. Please let everyone in the entire universe be liberated. And all the sins, all the karma for every living being in the universe. That means all the 8,400,000 species of life, of everybody in the whole universe. Let all their sins come on my head and let me suffer perpetually. But let them be happy with you in the spiritual world." Now think about that word, perpetually. It's scary, isn't it? Usually if we have a mosquito bite and it really itches, we just can't wait till it ends. Yes? Or in America, there's an epidemic in some places of bed bugs. Do you have bed bugs here in England? There's some places, New York, Boston, there's a lot of places. Bed bugs are spreading like anything. And you lay in bed, which is supposed to be the place you find shelter, and then bugs start biting and biting. How many of you have ever laid in a bed with bed bugs? Please raise your hand. I've had quite a few of those beds, actually. To be honest with you, that's one of the reasons I like to sleep on the floor. I never, floor bugs are not as bad as bed bugs. But they just eat you, and you can't really sleep. And I remember recently I was in Boston, Massachusetts, and there was a place infested with bed bugs. And I tried to be philosophical about it. Not to me, because I was on the floor, but to the people who were in the beds. I said, try to understand that little spirit soul, who's the same size as you, 1/10,000th the size of the tip of a hair, is the size of a soul within this material world. That little spirit soul that is the predominating life force of the bed bug is just like you. You're in a human body, so you like to sleep and find pleasure in a bed. Yes? Well, that bed bug, it's not that he's some criminal or something. It's his nature, or her nature, I don't know. I'll have to confess, I don't know the difference between a male and female bed bug. But that little he or she bed bug, you are going to sleep for pleasure, and they are eating you for pleasure. What's the difference? Why are you so egoistic? Civil rights. Well, maybe not civil rights. You may do something with the bed bugs, but at least understand the principle. It's a spirit soul looking for pleasure, and you're a spirit soul looking for pleasure, but according to the body, according to the nature, you're looking for a different pleasure. But ultimately, either it's the bedbug soul or your soul, everyone is looking for Krishna. And little Prahlad said, just like a magnet naturally attracts metal, similarly, I am naturally attracted to Krishna. And nothing can change that. It's my nature. And Srila Prabhupada explains, this is the crux of the difference between the material world and the spiritual world. The spiritual world, everyone is pure. Therefore, everyone is attracted to Krishna. Nanda Maharaj, as Krishna's father, Yashoda Mai as Krishna's mother, day and night, they are simply attracted to giving pleasure to Krishna, to loving Krishna in every possible way. And the Gopas, Sridama, Subala, in their playful ways, they're eternally attracted to Krishna. In the Gopis, Srimati Radharani, Lalita, Vishaka, the Manjaris, all Gopis. Their life, their soul, their everything is simply being attracted to Krishna. His beauty, his sweetness, his flute, his love, his everything. Krishna is all attractive. That is the meaning of Krishna, all attractive. In Vrindavan, the trees, the flowers, the insects, the animals, the mountains, the stones, the rivers, the sky, the clouds, everything is ecstatically in love in their attraction to Krishna. And Srila Prabhupada explains that when that love for Krishna is there is spontaneous, natural love for every living being. Love for each other. You cannot love Krishna and not love each other. Because we see Krishna in everyone. We may not love what they do, we discriminate, but with compassion, with forgiveness, with love. That is a Vaishnava's mentality. And that's Vaishnava community. To do whatever we can to just purify our hearts, to be attracted to Krishna. Sarvapadi Vanirmuktam Tatparatve Nirmalam Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti. We have all these external artificial designations we identify with. The ego. But when we purify ourselves of this through seva, and the primary seva mukhe jivado, is by speaking about Krishna, by hearing about Krishna, and by sincerely chanting the holy name. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Through purification of this seva, hearing and chanting the glories of the Lord, gradually we become attracted to Shri Radha Gokulananda. And the curtain of Maya is forever removed. And then we're happy and grateful to just do everything we can to serve. And we can deeply, genuinely appreciate, honor, and respect the service of all others. And when we see someone else being blessed, that is our greatest happiness. Thank you very much.
His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj ki Jai.
I'm sorry if I talk too much, but hopefully you'll be more enthusiastic to have kirtan. Please, everyone, dance. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Asjatyat Satharine Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Krishna Krishna Hari Hari